The Other Side is brought to you by Truman Insurance. Community driven, always honest, always reliable, always there.
This is The Other Side, and Coach Dave is going to talk about the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. 3 games in 4 weeks. That's a little much.
Well, we're going to know each other.
Yeah, no
doubt
doubt
about that. I mean, if you look at our games this year, it's been crazy. Okay, so we go twice to Winnipeg. We lose both by a combined 3 points. They come here, we beat them by 4.
Right.
I mean, all that says to me is it's very, very equally balanced teams. It was all 3 games could have been won by the other team. So we're expecting another one of those barn burners, but might be a little bit much. But the rivalry is big time. I mean, I think the guys on both teams are I guess anticipating that physical game, knowing that we really don't like each other, and hoping that the breaks go our way and we get the win.
Listening to Milt Stiegel on TSN talk about the home field advantage, he goes, if this game was in Winnipeg, I'd be picking Winnipeg, but it's in Calgary. And even when I played with them, coming to Calgary was a different monster. Explain what it is like to have home field advantage with this crowd and this stadium.
Well, we've been getting, I think, our best crowds in many, many years. I mean, we really have had some great crowds, loud crowds, and the noise is just such an advantage for the other team's defense. So if you're at home and you're on defense, that noise really, really helps. The other team's offense struggles with communication, can't change up the snap count. We should be able to get a jump across the line of scrimmage and get pressure on our quarterback. And then you're also in your familiar surroundings. You're in your locker room. You're used to your schedule. I don't really think it's anything more than that. It's still the same field. It's the same dimensions. We're still playing the same opponent. Not like you can't win on the road, but I think that extra little noise and that familiarity with your surroundings, I mean, it's probably worth a couple points. I mean, I don't know if it's worth any more than 2 or 3 points, but that's kind of what's been determining the game. So certainly, I'm hoping Milt is right. He picks us. I hope it works out that way.
Have you noticed the louder crowds ever since we started doing this show?
I have. It's got to be
a reason.
The other side, or it's got to be third and long. And no, but I don't know exactly what we're at numbers wise, but I think this has been as good a crowd as we've had since I can remember. Now I've had a lot of concussions, so I don't have a big time memory. But it's really been good. And you know what? The games have been so exciting this year, so close. We haven't won them all, but we've been holding our own, and the crowd definitely, I think, has been up in our game.
Strevler or Zach Collaros at quarterback? Do you think you'll see a little bit of both?
I do. I think we'll see both. I think Collaros starts, though, and I think Strevler is sprinkled in there, and then also they could go the other way. But I think they're going to have packages for both of them and see what's working. Now, if one guy takes a lead and starts really playing well, they'll stay with them, I would bet. But I would expect it to be a mix of both, which does give us a little bit of problems.
Let's talk about Andrew Harris, because he's a big guy, big kid that you've got to bring down. And when they win, he's usually the guy that gets lots of touches and makes lots of things happen.
He does, and he's probably due against us. We've been doing a good job against him for the most part, but they can use him in multiple ways. They obviously run the ball is number one, but they like to use him out of the backfield. And the other thing they can even do is just kind of decoy him. So they put him in a position where your defense ends up moving towards him and then run plays the other way, or he's still in the backfield and they're running their little speed sweep side to side. With your attention on him, all of a sudden it leaves other people open. So I think he's their key to their offense. There ain't no doubt about it. So we need to tackle well, and the other thing for me, we have to win the turnover battle. I think if we do that, I like our chances. And
talk about their defense, because we talked about how that pass rush was pretty effective, especially with Jefferson, but you've seemed to have an answer for them the last few games.
Well, I thought they put some pressure on us. I think Bo just played extremely well. They definitely committed more people to rushing Bo the last game we played them. Earlier, they kind of were thinking coverage, see if we let our D-line win their one-on-one matchups or one-on-two matchups even. I think they're going to mix it up, but I don't think they're going to sit back. I think they're going to bring the heat and try to force us into mistakes, which also can allow us to make plays. That's where our receivers have to step up. We got to win our one-on-one battles, kick out of tackles, and hopefully make some big plays. Hergy, nice kid. I mean, really, you guys are set up pretty nice for the future as far as Canadian receivers go. And this kid's been nice to watch. He has, and he's really growing into it. First-round pick out of Montreal. He went down to UConn for college. Has like you said, a nice. To me, he's just a guy that's I feel has a lot of skill. He's got great hands. He can really get in and out of his breaks. He's got pretty good size. He's strong. I wouldn't call him the fastest receiver, but enough. And when our quarterback's looking for a rookie to make plays when the game's on the line, that's a good sign. And he was the guy doing it for us last week and came up with 3 straight big catches for that kind of finishing drive on BC. And his confidence is there. Now just take the next step and keep being more consistent.
A perfect game for you guys. What does that look like, Dave, as far as weather goes, environment? Do you like the cold? They're used to the cold. It's a lot colder there than here. Or is it just let's get out and play?
I actually I don't want horrible weather. I'd rather have, the weather not be a factor and let the best team win. We are certainly probably a little bit more of a throwing team, so wind or rain, snow might affect us more than it would them. They're more of a ground team, more balanced. That's what people say wins in the playoffs. We've got to find that balance, but I also think we're a gritty team. We're a tough team. We're willing to do the little things to make it happen. So the perfect game for me is to look up on the scoreboard at the end and look like we got at least one more point than them and moving on to Sask.
What about the pressure of the playoffs in the last 3 weeks here? You told me that it's a grind for you, right? Take us through it.
Well, it's just really hard to catch your breath. I feel like and that's a good thing, but the last probably 4 weeks, every game had so much importance. Any hiccup or a hurdle that you can't overcome is going to put you back. Guess what? That's what happened. We lost a 1-pointer there, and obviously lost to Montreal about 5 games ago as well. So those are the 2 games that kind of kept us out of first. It's pressure. I don't mind it, though. I love this time of year because now it's either, do it or you're out. And to me, that's perfect. I'm all for it. I've always enjoyed playoff type of atmosphere. Usually to me, your best players play the best in the biggest games, and I think we've got some of those on our team. So, the pressure's there, but also the goal and the championship is staring right at us. Can we win 3 games in a row? Yeah, we've done it many times this year. Let's go do it again.
And the big one, the third one, having your home locker room for the Grey Cup. That's got to be something that gives you a little extra incentive.
Yeah, I know the city's fired up about it. I think it is just a little bit extra pressure because, it would be special. It would be really something all of us would treasure for the rest of our lives. It seems like a tough road. It is a tough road. Like I said, I think if you just start the ball rolling, if you can get that first one at home, then everything, your confidence can really build. And, you just have to win one on the road, a tough one, but you have a chance. And then, you can get back home. So we know for a fact there's only one more road trip at the most for us this year. And we would relish that opportunity. We just got to make sure we're not looking forward too far, take care of this game and play our best. And hopefully the chips fall for us.